Gotta admit that was strange. Good morning. Yes, had everything set up pretty much ready to record my video, and I was just sitting here at the computer waiting for a particular time, and I started hearing this ringing, and it was not on my phone, it was from my speakers, not on the computer the laptop that I'm recording this on, but on the other computer, the desktop, which I have open also. And I saw that it was from my niece, my brother's daughter. And I couldn't answer it because there's no setup on that computer to talk to anybody. There's no microphone over there, at least not that I'm aware of. Obviously, there's anyway. She called a second time, and then I finally start messaging her on Facebook, and she said, just forget it, just let it be. So anyway, it sort of took me completely off track, and I was debating whether I wanted to start in the discombobulated state that my mind is in right now. But the blurb that I had prepared is another notice from last year's attorney. I was surprised when I came home from the Bruno Groening Circle of Friends meeting that the attorney who worked with me for 1 month late last year had sent me yet another notice from the court, this one signed by the judge with his name, and no signature, just initials as before. Of course, an appeal has been properly filed in this matter, which I was told can take up to a year to process. We'll see. I do know from a dream earlier that a connection with the past has somehow been severed. While I'm not sure what that means, I certainly hope that the ordeal with the Mary Horgan Center for Spiritual Development will finally be resolved so that I can get on with my life. It's exhausting being bogged down by having to rehash the past, now nearly 11 years after Dr. Mary died. Please pray that somehow God works to transform my life and our life on this planet for the good of all people who choose a higher plane of existence and experience. Yeah, it really took me off track. I mean, my focus was greatly shifted. But it's been being greatly shifted lately. I mean, in the Bruno Groening Circle of Friends yesterday, I felt some connection there that something was happening. I can't put it in words because it's a feeling, and I'm not sure what it means. I've had feelings lots of my life, and lots of my life I've thought that, well, everything is going to be worked out. And then come to find out, the thing that I thought had been worked out and resolved comes back again. And there it is, big as life, threatening to take my home. And that's been the issue for 11 years. 11 years after Dr. Mary left this world, this whole drama is continuing for me. As I've said, she more or less adopted me, not in legality terms, but figuratively and spiritually. She referred to me often in public even, as the son she never had. And many of my friends who knew her and have known me for a while know that that's the case. And so that she would leave me her home, or 50% of her estate. She was going to leave me everything. I want you to understand that. And it was me that said, Dr. Mary, you promised your husband before he died that you would let the Shriners have 50% of your estate. And And then I said, well, look at Sandra Otis helped you so much. You need to leave her something. And your nephew, has he at least called you once a year for as long as I've known you? He keeps in contact with you. He's the only relative you have that actually keeps in touch with you. You need to leave him something. And I forgot the name of her keyboard or her piano player in her church. But he was also there to help her, give her rides and stuff like that when she could no longer drive. So she left $50,000 to these three individuals, 20, 20, and 10. And the rest was to be divided 50-50 between me and the Shriners. And then the Shriners come on board when I finally let them know that, she's gone and that everything is moved out of her estate and that they're going to get 50%, that it's going on the market. And then the Shriners' attorney attacks me. Like I did something wrong. I guess from their perspective, or from this lawyer's perspective, I was supposed to have notified them as soon as she died. I wasn't supposed to go and take a portion of my inheritance, move everything and into a different property. I was supposed to get bogged down in a legal system, with the Shriners being in charge. No way. I had the power of attorney, not them. And this lawyer was a jerk. I mean, an absolute jerk. The 2 days of interrogation that went on, an hour and a half of it was with Phyllis Wilhelm's husband, Eugene, who had 2 strokes and didn't even know why he was there, except that his wife told him he had to be. Incoherent testimony. She never had to testify, and she was the one that put the whole thing together. She was the one that was responsible for the lawsuit, not him. He would have never filed a lawsuit. He was not coherent enough to file a lawsuit. It was all her. And she ended up getting money, but the lawyers involved, especially the PNC lawyer, conned me into giving an oral agreement to give power of attorney so that she could sell the other property, the Merritt Island, not the house that I live in, the Merritt Island house. And I gave her that power of attorney, but she never put it in writing. You cannot transfer property without a written agreement. And I believe that's all across the United States. I know it's true in New York, and I've been told it's true in other states. And I'm pretty sure it's true in Florida. You cannot do it by an oral agreement. And yet that's what the attorney did. So in any case, folks, I don't know where all this is going. I don't even know where this video is going. I'm just simply bringing things out and airing them for your consideration and asking, as I've been asking, pray that somehow God brings resolution to this whole thing, however it's going to happen. I'm not giving up the house, not unless they pay me a reasonable amount of money. They cannot buy this place that never had a mortgage on it for $100, and it's all unlawful. The whole procedure is unlawful. I still own the Merritt Island property as I see it, because they never had a contract to even sell it. Only an oral agreement that they never put in writing. And Kimberly Rosanka is the one that's responsible for it. Now, PNC Bank has another lawsuit now where they are the plaintiff. Okay? Yeah, before it was Eugene and Phyllis Wilhelm that were the plaintiffs. And actually, PNC Bank were defendants. But they were never defendants. They were always against me. So was the Shriners. Lots of things here, folks, don't make sense to me either. And I've been doing it for a long time. 11 years now. 11 years since Dr. Mary died. I ask for your prayers. I ask for prayers for the people of the world and the whole planet. That somehow we get out of this mess of lies that we've been entrapped in for so long. Thank you for listening, and namaste.